What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson from Squad Sports. We're really excited to be supporting the Free Agent Friday series. A lot of great talent out there. Without further ado, this is the next free agent you should be signing with your sports team.
Well, we've got another Free Agent Friday today, and I've got Daniel Salazar with me. How's it going, Daniel?
Andrew, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. I'm glad you were able to join me. I'd like to get started. Let's kind of go through where you went to school and any degrees that you've gotten.
Yeah, so I did my undergrad at the University of Central Florida. My major was in hospitality management with an emphasis on event management. I graduated in 2016, and then right after, I went to graduate school at the University of Miami to receive my master's in education in sports administration. And I graduated from last year in May.
Okay. During any of your college, did you do any internships or have any other work that you were doing?
Yeah, so when I was at UCF, I started working as an usher at the Amway Center. And after I was a fall graduate in 2016. So after I graduated, I didn't have a whole lot of jobs lined up for me after that. So I moved back down to Miami, and I started working with the Marlins actually when I first got there. Worked in their guest services department, which was really great because I got to work the MLB All-Star Game and the Baseball World Classic.
Oh, nice.
And later on that summer, I would go on to work for the Miami Dolphins, working as a part-time like game day and event ops. I did that for 2 seasons, and while also doing that, working with the Dolphins, I did an internship with the Miami Heat, working their event services department. And then in spring 2019, when I was getting ready to graduate, I worked with the IMG Miami Open Tournament for tennis over at the Hard Rock Stadium. And I also did some work with Inter Miami CF, helping to put on their youth academy tryouts when they first started up. And then after I graduated from it was when I received the opportunity to go to Atlanta to work for the Atlanta Falcons in their community relations department.
Nice. So at what point did you decide you wanted to get into sports?
So the answer to your question has changed a lot for me over the past couple of years. When I was an usher, I remember I would walk around the arena and I would see people walking around in suit and ties. Or I remember I would look at the court and I would see people wearing headsets or having clipboards, and they're bringing groups in and out of the court. And that's when I thought, oh, like, this is really cool. Like, I want to try and get into this, have a career in this. The thing was that I didn't know what area I wanted to get into. I'm sure, as you know, there's a lot of different jobs in sports, from corporate partnerships to ticket sales, group sales, special events, and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So when I was doing all my different part-time roles and different internships, I tried to find my niche, what area I wanted to go into. And I gravitated towards community relations and community impact. So when I knew I wanted to get into that, I wanted to apply for jobs in community relations with any sports team and any league that was available to me. And when I got the job with the Falcons and I started working for them, for their CR department, that's when I realized that this is the area that I want to be in. Like, this is my niche, so I wanted to work in sports because I want to help people. Especially for those who are in need. And I want to give our youth the tools and resources for them to succeed in their lives.
So when you were with the Falcons, what kind of stuff were you focused on working on there?
Yeah, so I was the youth and high school football assistant. So it was a lot of outreach towards youth and high school football across the state of Georgia. I would help put on youth football camps throughout the year. Coaching clinics, mom academies. I also ran and operated a lot of my own programs that the Falcons do. So they do Coach of the Week, which they award a coach for not only what they do on the field, but what they do to give back to their own communities. And that's part of our Coach of the Week program. I also did Power Player, which is the same concept, where it's an award that's given to a player who exceeds on the field, in the classroom, and also giving back to the community. And I also worked flag crew, which was a really neat program. We invited a high school football team to come to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and we gave them a tour of the stadium, and they got the chance to hold an Atlanta Falcons flag as the team was running out onto the field. So it was a pretty neat
Nice.
experience to do that. And my role didn't only just my only focus wasn't just on high school football. I also helped a lot with the community outreach programs, such as hospital visits, a lot of our military outreach as well that we do throughout the year. As far as what the Falcons do, what the NFL does, and also sending out care packages, mail, writing grant letters. It was a lot. It was a lot, but I'm really glad I had the experience I had over there, and I learned so much from them.
Yeah, and it's cool how much of impact that not just yourself but the whole team can have, on the community. So it's very rewarding, I'm sure. So what would you say is your biggest strength that you'll bring to a new position?
I definitely think my biggest strength would be my time management skills. I'm not one to be a procrastinator by any sort. That's gone all the way back to my school days, and I've brought it over to my work life. Very rarely do I have to ask for an extension when it comes to certain projects and all. Obviously I would ask for help, and I would also ask any questions if I had any, because I wanted to make sure I was doing everything right. But I did everything with a timely manner, and I think that's really important. I think it's hard for some people, especially when they get that internship or that first big full-time role, for that time management, because you're given a lot of different things. And when I was with the Falcons, every day wasn't the same. I was always given something new added to my to-do list and all. So it was all about prioritizing and a lot of time management, and put in some time to projects that needed to be completed. I remember my manager would tell me, we all went to college and we all had papers and assignments to do, and we all knew what happened if we didn't do it. We all got zeros, except in the real world, like, there's bigger consequences than that, than getting zeros. So I wanted to make
right in the butt, out the door.
yeah. So I wanted to make sure I did everything in a timely manner, and that's something I'm really proud of, my time management.
Yeah. What area do you think you need to work on the most?
I think the area I need to improve on the most is really just slowing down and not losing my attention to detail when it comes to my work. As I mentioned before, I kept a to-do list to do, and sometimes I had like 10 things, 15 things that I needed to do throughout the week, and things that needed to be completed that day or later on that week. So I remember I would be on the keyboard and I would be like Speedy Gonzalez, trying to knock out all these emails, trying to create all these documents. But there will be some times where I would like misspell a word, or I would forget, I would leave out an important detail in a message or in a document. So really for me is just to slow down a bit and to really just go over my work and reread as much as I can. To make sure that everything's included in there and everything is looking right before I hit the send button, or if I give a document to my boss. The way that I handle it throughout the season was, if I needed to turn in something to our owner, Arthur Blank, or our CEO, Steve Cannon, like what would they say? Would they point out something? Would they mention this to me? So I wanted to make sure that my work was top notch and everything was mentioned and completed in there as well.
That's good. So on your next position, you're kind of looking for something in community relations?
Absolutely, yeah. Community relations, community impact, social responsibility, nonprofit.
Open to relocation? Any restrictions?
Yeah, so I definitely being based here in South Florida, I would love to continue working down here. As you know, I've already worked for a lot of teams here, and I've had a lot of great experiences here. But I'm also open to other opportunities as well outside of Florida, as long as I feel that they're the right situation and I feel comfortable with the organization, and I feel great about their leadership, from ownership to the executive level to the managerial level. So I think that's really important when you're choosing what job you want to go into next, or what organization you want to go to. So in short, yes, I am open for relocation as well.
Okay. It's good to know. How would you define success?
I define success on a couple of things. I define success when the work that you're doing is really generating or creating impact. It's not just busy work. It's that the work that you're putting is going to not only elevate yourself, elevate your department, elevate your organization, but is also making an impact to those outside of the organization, especially in community relations. When I'm at a community event and I can make one person smile or I can make their day, that means the world to me. So, and that all goes back to when preparing for the event, creating those documents, working with other departments or working with outside entities to put on this community event. Though I feel like success is when you know that your work is impactful. And another definition for success for me is seeing your teammates or your coworkers succeed as well. Big shout out to Andre Sims and Evan Langfelder. They were with me in our intern village. They worked with me in CR, and I always made myself available to help them with any of their projects or any questions that they have for me, because I wanted them to succeed as well. As much as I want to achieve my goals and want to succeed, I want them to do that as well. And when I see them succeed, that only makes our department better, and it makes them better. So seeing your teammates succeed, your coworkers succeed, that means a lot to me as well. That's how I define success.
Yeah, it's big, and you can still be competitive, and you can still do those things, but in a positive way, that you're pushing each other and helping each other. Because at the end of the day, who wants to be the only one successful, just sitting around being all? I mean, there's no happiness in that.
No.
I mean, it's great when you got the whole group that can celebrate and have a good time. So
Absolutely.
I like that. How about this? Give us a fun personal fact about you.
Fun personal fact about me. I'm an avid sneakerhead. I love sneakers. I've gotten a good collection of sneakers, and I'm also a big vintage collector as well. Actually, recently, I don't know if you remember Colt Brennan. He used to play quarterback in Hawaii, but I bought a Colt Brennan jersey recently on eBay.
Oh, nice.
So it's on its way here. It's coming from Hawaii, so I'm super excited for it to get here and to wear it as well. So I'm a big vintage collector too.
So how many
sports and memorabilia and all that.
How many pairs of shoes you got then?
I have about maybe 13 pairs. Yeah, about 13 pairs. Possibly still growing. Who knows? We'll see.
Man, there's so many good ones out there, and it's like there's way too many choices. So,
it really is.
I know nothing about the shoes, but a friend of mine has converted his garage into his shoe warehouse.
Yeah, wow.
He legit, it's ridiculous. I'm like, dude, you probably got 20 grand in shoes here.
Yeah.
Might be more. Some of those sneakers, my son is 16, they're way priced high.
Yeah.
So.
And they can make a profit off of it one day too if they decide to sell it.
Yeah, my son was telling me there's a website that it's almost like the stock market. It values the shoe. What?
StockX, yeah.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. So, no, that's cool. That's cool. We'll have to check out your collection sometime. But thank you for joining me. Hopefully, we can help you get back, working soon. You have a good amount of volunteer and internships, and then your experience at the Falcons. So you can kind of see that passion that you have for the community. So I'm excited to watch you grow in your career, man.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you having me on, and what you're doing, using your platform to get a lot of people exposure is going to help a lot of people for sure. And I really appreciate you having me on.